Is to familiarize you with replacing the brushes on the Easy Dry motor. This is the motor right here for the Easy Dry, and these are the brushes. Here they're orange, sometimes they're gray. This should only be done by a qualified technician, of course. It is pretty simple. Once the motor is removed from the dryer, and once the filter is removed off the back of the motor, the filter should be cleaned prior to being reinstalled. You can see the brushes are up, and we just have two tools, a Phillips head screwdriver and a flathead screwdriver. It's the number 2 Phillips head screwdriver, and there's 2 Phillips head screws on these brackets. They're U-shaped brackets that are holding the brushes on, one on each side. These come off real easy. Save the screws because they're going to be needed to put the replacement brush back on. Now I'm pulling these little Phillips head screws out real quick, and I'm going to save them. And there's a screw, and then here comes another screw over here on the other side with the number 2 Phillips head screwdriver. And now the brush can come out, and it's free now. This is where the flathead screwdriver is used to loosen up the copper terminal connection out of the brush. And there it is, the brush is out, and on a worn brush it will be much shorter, down to about that length. Here we can see that this brush is good, the spring is fine. Notice that there is a nub on the bottom of the brush. The brushes do have a specific radial orientation prior to being installed, and that is that the nub is down, and there's a small channel down here that the nub sits in. Nub is down, and then back over onto the brush you can see that there's a slot between the plastic body and the copper sheath, and that's where the terminal connection goes. The terminal connector does not get wedged between the graphite and the copper. The terminal connection goes between the copper and the plastic body. So now to install the brush is brought in to close proximity. The terminal connection is inserted just like so, and it's seated in, and we can find where that nub sits in, and there's no reason to hold it. Once that nub is seated, it'll stay, and then the channel goes back on top with the Phillips head screws, and then of course the number 2 Phillips head screwdriver is used to tighten these down. And it really is that quick and simple. And this is just, of course, doing the one side. The other side is the exact same way. Clean the filters prior to putting the motor back in, and of course never operate the blow dryer without all of the compartments fully closed. You want to start the dryer up on low speed to make sure that everything is moving correctly, and operate the blow dryer on low speed for 5 or 10 minutes. If there's anything that sounds like it's binding or caught, go back inside, check the alignment of the brushes, check all the electrical connections between the terminals and the brushes, and then of course between the motor and the motor control. Thanks very much for watching. If there's any questions, feel free to call 800-777-5899. That's Easy Groom Pet Care Products at 800-777-5899. Thanks very much for your interest and attention.